All right, here we are in our first match. We are on the play, which is great. Hand is not really good. Playing a 2-2 endless one is not really an exciting play, like going 2-2 and then 2-3, or 2-2 and then 3-3. We really want to be able to get ahead on mana. So while this hand isn't necessarily awful, I really want to see some sort of ramp element in our opening hand. So I'm going to be sending this one back. And now that we're here, you know, I'm going to be keeping this even though it's not particularly exciting either. Certainly don't want to go down to 5 cards. This hand also has the potential for a much better curve out rather than going, you know, Grizzly Bear and that. So I think actually probably want to keep this on top. Doesn't work perfectly with the lands that I have, but it'll do. I really want to play my Sylvan Advocate on turn 2. So rather than firing off the Oath of Nissa right away, I'm going to hold off on it a little bit and get a little bit more information about what I'm up against and what I need to draw off of it. So it looks like we're up against the blue-red Eldrazi deck. It'll be kind of interesting to see how this plays out. So, a little unfortunate. So, at this point, I'm really hoping that I hit a land drop. Also, be nice to hit one of our 3-mana ramp spells. This is Pilgrimage. Oh, see if we are that lucky. If we do get a chance to play Chandra, it's a little interesting what we want to do with her. If we can get her up to 6 loyalty, that means she can take down a ooh, that's good. It means that can take down a Drowner of Hope. Would be quite nice. So we also have a target to deal with the Drowner of Hope, but Chandra would be able to deal with the Drowner of Hope and the tokens that it comes with. So here, I would really like this Hedron Archive to resolve, but I assume that my opponent is just going to counter this. That said, you know, I'm going to fire it off anyway. On the odd chance that it resolves, that would be great. Holding it doesn't really do a whole lot for us. So I might as well just fire it off while we can. Our opponent's deck, rather than having the same sort of ramp elements that we have, he's got Mage Ring Network as a way to build up his mana. Works particularly well when he's trying to hold up counterspell magic. This is bad for us. This is real bad. There's not a whole lot that we can do to pressure this Chandra, except get our own into play. Fortunately, we're a little kind of far away from that. So it's definitely not a matchup for Kozilek's return. And if our opponent pluses the Chandra, I think I will take... Well, actually, I could potentially kill the Wandering Fumarole. Get this to resolve. This would be great. Unfortunately not. This is one of the issues with ramp decks is not only do you need big threats, but you need big mana. And getting both to line up can be a little difficult. I think this deck does a good job of solving some of those issues, but did not happen with this draw. Go away. Still can't really do anything. We're probably just dead here. Gotta fight the good fight. And we're dead. Alright, so next game. So for this matchup, don't really need the Kozilek's returns. Those can go out. I think having Ulamog and the Worldbreaker will be good. There's some of the better threats we have to disrupt our opponent's mana. I think we want the extra ramp elements. Sylvan Advocate is not going to do a whole lot in this matchup. And then probably just having another random really big body is good in the form of this endless one. And I think that's going to be about it. It is nice that Gaia's Revenge can't be countered, but it does trade with a Drowner of Hope, and I don't think it's really what this matchup is about, although it is a decent threat. I think the other threats we have are better. So we're gonna run it like this, more ramp, more threats. Basically just try to punch our opponent in the face as hard as we can. And if this had an Oath of Nissa in it, I would certainly keep it. This is so close to a very good hand, but unfortunately we have to mulligan once again. And we'll keep this, not particularly excited about it. That makes it a lot better. So I think I want to start with the game trail here. And we're off to the races. One thing that's also nice about this is with this Deathcap Cultivator out, we can play this Nissa's Pilgrimage and get around a Clash of Wills. Our opponent might have Negate. I doubt it, but Syncopate's certainly not going to do the trick. Now we get to attack. A little surprised that our opponent has Spatial Contortion. But it's kind of like whatever. So looks like the plan is going to be force Chandra next turn, and then force Worldbreaker on the following turn, and just sort of hope one of them resolves. Worldbreaker in particular is a pretty nasty threat against our opponent because he is also a ramp deck. And when we cast this Worldbreaker, we are going to be able to sacrifice our Sanctum of Ugin to get another Worldbreaker. And we do get the cast to trigger whether they countered it or not, so I think in this situation, Worldbreaker is basically exactly the card we want to see. And to pair it with Sanctum of Ugin is extra great. Oh, jeez. We got crushed. Oh, man. Well, we had a great plan. That plan is gone, unfortunately. We do get to get another crack at it, though. So at least that's good. We're a little too far away from Ulamog, so it's certainly going to be a Worldbreaker. And the 7/7 should be hard for our opponent to deal with. This Thought-Knots here is also a little bit of a liability. So let's see here. 3, 6, 7. So I have to play my land. Don't really want to attack first, because if he just takes it, then attacks with Thought-Knots here and Wandering Fumarole, it's actually racing back for more. So I'd like to make sure that this resolves first. I think that I want to get rid of the Spawning Bed because he already has a Wandering Fumarole, so he's kind of all set. Blue or red mana. I may be able to strand a Thought-Knots here in his hand by taking down this Spawning Bed. It's also pretty useful with Drowner of Hope. It does get the exile our thing, which is pretty annoying. So considering we don't really have anything going on, I'm not sure if I really want to race. Because if he's, I guess actually if he's going to deploy a blocker, he'd have to, yeah, I'll just attack. I think we're fine. Things can get dicey though if our opponent plays a Drowner of Hope. It just makes it a lot easier for our opponent to control the race. Wow, no attack with Thought-Knots here. That's pretty interesting. So I wonder what that could mean. Also wonder how many. Well, let's just attack. See how that goes. Wow, I can't believe our opponent didn't attack with Thought-Knots here. That's pretty bizarre. So I want to cast Nissa's Pilgrimage first here, because if I can get enough mana, I can just have enough mana to pay for a Spell Shuffle or Clash of Wills. And if my opponent decides to counter it, then you know, that's going to be fine for me also. My opponent has 1 pure counterspells. So no attacks or blocks with Thought-Knot Seer. A little bit of a dubious play. There we go. So my opponent has 6 mana. I would love to see Drowner of Hope here. We got what we asked for. And now we're going to be able to take that Drowner down. Drowner down. Ooh, this is good. So we have 2 options. We could take down the Drowner of Hope or the Thought-Knot Seer. The Thought-Knot Seer would yield us another card, which would be kind of nice. That said, I think the Drowner of Hope just does a lot with these Scions. That said, I guess the Scions are basically doing the same thing either way. Probably actually just go for the Thought-Knot Seer. Our opponent can obviously sacrifice the 1 Scion in response. Tap down our Endless one. So I got a little overzealous. Should have attacked with my Endless one first. That way we would have been able to kill an extra Scion. It's quite nice. Since we already have a good threat in our hand. Oh, that's not good. So I think actually the forest is better because we get to have our Endless one be a little bigger, potentially play around a Spell Shovel. I think I'll just get the forest. As exciting as that is. These Endless ones are huge though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a 10-10 Endless one? That is no joke. Jeez. You cast a 10-10 Endless one, or cast a 6-6 and play around Spell Shovel. Can't believe our opponent managed to exile both of our Worldbreakers. So sick. One of the big reasons to play Spell Shovel is, you know, these Worldbreakers, if they're just countered in a normal way or die and go to the graveyard, I can just recur them. So. Fortunately, the only way I can recur them is actually with the Sanctum of Ugin, so that's actually a little tricky. I only have 4 Sanctums in the deck. They're my only source of colorless mana besides the Hedron Archives, which can get countered. So. But our opponent's in a pretty bad spot. Not really sure what he wants to do. I guess maybe I should have actually gone after the Drowner of Hope because it would have meant that Dragonlord Atarka was just going to be a lethal attacker. But either way, it's a little bit of an embarrassment of riches when it comes to our board presence, so not too worried that I threw the game or anything like that. Wow. Opponent is being aggressive. I wonder if he has another Drowner of Hope. It certainly makes sense. Yep. good. So I think the first step is to just go to combat. We'll blow up one of our opponent's lands. And so the Shivan Reef is a little interesting because again, it's its only source of colorless mana. We could also target a Wandering Fumarole, but he already has 2 of them. So I think we want to just knock him off. Colorless mana. And we could play our Endless One to be a 3/3 here. It's not really exciting considering the average size of the creatures in this matchup. Just gonna hold it. Whoa! Should have played our Endless One. No! Oh, brutal! Alright, well, we're dead. Kind of stink sauce. And Drowner of Hope, too strong. We're on to the next one.